Good morning. You look confused.
Hello, Joe. I'm just trying to get set up and I already pushed too many buttons and I backed out, whatever. It's just not been a good day.
Looks like it's been snowing or something in the back. It might just be the light.
Give me a minute. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you before.
Joe?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can anybody hear me? Put a yes in the chat. Oh, you can hear me. Okay.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good morning, everybody. Brenda, Russell, Giggles is here. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can't pull the camera up. There's my situation right there. I
Yeah,
just
snow.
came in from shoveling all this and shoveling the sidewalk and part of the entryway going upstairs. So we got quite a bit of snow. I know what the problem is. Okay, Joe, can you hear me now?
I've been hearing you.
Because I couldn't hear you because I just remembered in the middle of the night, my power went out for about 5 minutes and came back on again. And so it reset, I'm using this Tritonic's speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So up. You here early?
You what?
I said you're here early.
No, same time I always come in. I get home at 9 o'clock.
I feel like I work at the Waffle House this morning. Got up and made my food in 10 minutes.
Just
Grits,
stopped at
eggs, and
McDonald's.
sausage.
Oh, look at there. Eggs and sausage and
Your
everything.
favorite there, Justin. Grits, eggs, and sausage.
Ew. I just stopped at McDonald's on the way home. Got a couple McMuffins.
It took me 10 minutes to make.
Mhm.
The hardest
Okay.
thing is cooking the grits in 10 minutes.
Yeah, using them instant grits, ain't you?
That is real grits. You just got to make sure you're cooking them right and fast. Last night in New Orleans East, which is, we say New Orleans Least because it's a really bad area. Two guys walked into a little meat market. They sell a little bit of everything. It's like a little convenience store. And it's all the people from the Middle East that work there, right? So the two guys come in with guns at about 9 o'clock at night. And they got one guy behind the counter with the gun on his head, the other guy over here. And the guy is taking the money out the thing and they let him sit back. He sits back. As he sits back like this, the guy takes a step. The guy reaches, takes his gun out, shot both of them. He not only shot both of them, he shot the one that had the gun next to him like 4 times. And then shot the other guy and then went back, shot the other guy again.
What's up, Brenda, Russell, Edward, TJ?
He kind of sucked up in there.
What's up, Jody? And Laura.
Yeah,
and
well,
Brenda.
I can just tell I'm getting older and losing my mind because I woke up all night last night. Mia had me running around doing stuff for her. And she she's in her sunset years. I'm not sure how long she's gonna last, but anyway, it was like 7:30 or 7:40 when I woke up, and I thought it was 7:40 last night, so I called upstairs and woke him up, and it was 7:40 this morning, not yesterday. So I feel dumber than a box of rocks.
You need a what you need to do, Paul, instead of getting up and calling anybody, you need to just go ahead and ask Alexa or somebody what time it is.
I could, but I didn't want to disturb Mia because she was finally laying down. And I didn't, anything disturbs her. It's just like when TJ starts doing his giggle thing. Like right now, she's sitting down here and she's shaking.
Did she get fed yet?
Yeah, but she didn't eat it.
Oh.
Can you see
Hey,
her
me.
shaking, trembling a little bit?
Yeah.
My dogs in the middle of the night, if they come up to the side of my bed and they bark, I look at them and I say, go to sleep.
Damn it.
They don't have me trained in the middle of the night.
Bueno. Why does he have a whole bunch of those? Those are good, the guy's giving them out to like family or something more?
I'm not good at putting dogs down because I feel like, you know, like I've killed my dog, you know?
Well, is there anything wrong with her?
Well, she's not eating normal and she's wandering around all night. She went in the other room and peed on the carpet and she goes in, she goes out, she goes in, she goes out, and it's colder than hell out there, you know?
It should be the change in weather.
I don't know. Every time you describe her, every time you say that she goes outside when it's cold, it seems like she likes the cold.
Yeah, I do think so
Because
too.
She doesn't
you
stay
always
very-
say,
In other words, like within 5 minutes, she's at the back door again.
Well, she
Well, I'm
was
saying-
yesterday laying out in the cold.
yeah, because there's been quite a few times where you said it was freezing outside, but she didn't want to come in.
She'll go out as long as she wants to be. But mine go out on the deck outside, and it's been 100 degrees outside. And Cleo go out there getting the sun, and I'll look at her and say, "You better get your ass inside." And she'll lay there, and she'll come inside, and she'll look at me, and she'll be like she cooked a little bit. She'll be hot and sweating, like, you know, breathing heavy.
Yeah, that's a lot of snow out there.
That's a little dusting there,
I
TJ.
went out and shoveled all that this morning.
Oh wow. The 80s. Eating turtle.
There's the backyard.
They should go out there, roll around and have fun, make dog angels.
Yeah, uh-huh.
See, get thinking about what you don't like. You don't know what she like.
Jody said heat wave coming Sunday and Monday.
Gonna be 40.
Look at this guy.
Shit's Sunday and Monday. It's not going to be that hot here.
No,
Mid
it's
70s.
it's cinnamon toast crunch. Not, I wish it was Captain Crunch, but cinnamon toast crunch.
He's shoveling the deck in that great big Canadian steamship.
Too much work.
I did check my messages, Laura. I asked you why David had so many of those boxes. Why he had a whole case of those advent calendars.
And Laura, my informed delivery says I'm not getting any mail today.
That's a big long ship, and he's just still shoveling from the bow back towards the stern. He was.
He's got a long way to go.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's still all deck right there. There he is.
It's Santa Claus.
Are you guys giving them out or you just bought them just to eat them? The Bueno bars are good. I'd eat that whole fucking case. I wasn't careful.
I'm gonna low eat that.
It's like the most
Yeah, you
eat-
lightest, most
you eating
fluffiest
breakfast out
candy
of a
bar
punch
you'll
bowl
eat.
again? Look at the size of that bowl. Holy crap.
Nah, it's not a very big bowl. It's just a camera makes it look big. That's like a normal size bowl.
I don't know. The other day when he flipped it up
I
in front
use-
of his face to drink the juice down, his whole head disappeared.
Look how, no, I use big bowls like that because it's just easier because you can go back and get 2 bowls or you can just put 2 bowls worth in one bowl and then you don't have to worry about it spilling over the
Well,
edge.
he puts a whole box in that bowl.
Because I usually will eat 2 bowls of cereal if I have cereal. So I'll usually use a big Tupperware container and just fill it up with 2 bowls worth, and then I don't have to worry about it spilling over the sides either, because half the cereals float, and you know how they get when they get to the edge. You're dropping cereal everywhere. It's better to use an oversized bowl.
Oh, Frank says, and a chance of thunderstorms this weekend.
Oh, I'd eat them too, Laura. Those are good.
Russell says, Justin has big bowels.
Show you big bowels, Russell. Come over here. No, those are like the worst cereals are the ones that float because you'll go to put your milk in there and then everything wants to fall out of the fucking bowl.
That and you gotta,
Yep.
you gotta chase him around the bowl with a spoon.
Yeah. Especially like the Cheerios, like when you put Cheerios, like it overflows sometimes, and then like the Cheerios like fall out of the bowl, and you got to put them back in there.
You just said that, Justin.
I said that, not TJ.
That's
Did
what
you
I
just
said.
call TJ me?
No, I said you just, I said
No.
you just said that, Justin. You
Uh,
just repeated it.
TJ is Justin's brother by another mother. So how's the bus thing going?
That's fine.
Are the kids behaving?
Yeah, I don't have no issues with my kids.
You don't have any bad kids on your bus?
No, I mean, occasionally one might do something, but nothing usually serious. Usually little minor things. They might be talking at the railroad track crossing or something like that. Not to tell them to shut up.
Yeah, you gotta listen for those trains.
I usually
Well, what-
yell at them right before we get to it. I'll be like, railroad crossing. And then
Why
they'll
you
all
gotta be
shut up.
quiet?
Luckily, we only go across 2 of them because there's some buses. The other bus I was on, man, we went across like 10 of them.
Also
Fucking
says
annoying.
puffed wheat floats too. Those little puffed wheat things.
Oh yeah, the puffed wheat, yeah. Or like
Yeah, I like eating Lucky
What?
Charms and then eating all the Luckies out of them and leaving all
oh
the
the
charms.
the marshmallows. You talking about the
You gotta leave
marshmallows?
all the marshmallows and eat those last. See, and when I was working at Walmart 2 or 3 years in a row, we had the company that makes them did a thing where they would send each store a pallet of them, and one lucky person would get to buy a box off the pallet that had nothing but marshmallows in it, but you didn't know which box it was. And you'd see people walk by and they'd be picking up the boxes and shaking them, trying to figure out which one it was.
Well, they're good because they're magically delicious.
They're magically
they are pretty
delicious.
good. I do. I usually will eat around the marshmallows till there's nothing but marshmallows left in the bowl.
So I got a question that this really sounds stupid, but it's probably because it's gonna be a stupid answer. Why they have to be quiet at railroad crossings?
So the bus
So you-
driver can hear if there's a train coming. That's the
Bus driver can't
theory
see a big
behind it.
that's
freaking
what
train.
I said that.
That's
I said
the
that.
reasoning.
I said that.
Like I said, whether you agree with it or not, that's their reasoning behind it. Though.
The train's like 5 times the size of his bus. If you can't see it, you got a bigger problem.
Unless it's a dense fog.
No. In dense fog, you shouldn't be driving fast. You should be being extra careful.
But the thing is, I mean, the only reason they do that is because there's been quite a few accidents over the last 30, 40 years of buses getting
Pilot
hit by
error.
trains. Well, it kind of makes you wonder how anybody gets hit by a fucking train.
My dad, when he was first started driving in Metairie, Louisiana, where my grandparents lived, and he lived. Actually, I think he was an adult then. He was coming over the railroad tracks, and his dad told him to watch out for the train. He got up on, and you had to go up a little embankment and come down. He went up, stopped on the track, and looked and said, "I don't see one." His dad got out and walked on. Got out the car, walked on. And then I went over that same track one day, and it's in a residential section, so the train comes through real slow because at certain times they can't blow their horn because of the residents. And I come up, and when you come up, you can see them to the right because it's like a half a mile, but you can't see them when they come around the curve. That's like a quarter of a block on the left. And I come up, looked, and that sucker was sitting right there. Coming, I said, "Oh shit!" Over that track quick.
Well, the thing is,
But I didn't
not
see it
all-
till I got on the top.
well, a lot of people don't realize not all tracks actually have crossing guards on them. Like, there's a lot that they said there was like we were watching a video on it training, and they were talking about how there was like
Last one.
30,000 some crossings throughout the country that don't even have
one right
lights
there.
or anything. All they have is just a sign that says railroad track crossing. They don't have any arms or anything. So, but the thing is like that's how you wonder how people get hit walking down the tracks. Because the
Yeah.
thing is, you
Go.
can hear the motherfucker coming through the tracks. I lived right next to railroad tracks. We used to walk on them all the time. You can hear and feel the train coming from the
You can feel 'em
vibration
coming.
about a mile or two out. And that's the
My-
thing is I don't understand how people got hit by them. I never understood that.
Yeah, they had right next to the
It's
track.
crazy
They got
because
a telephone
we
pole.
there's a transportation train, called the Tri-Rail, and then there's another one called Brightline. And man, people cross those things right when it's coming, and they'll get hit like dead on. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but to see that's just being stupid though. You know
That's
it's
stupid.
coming and you're trying to cross.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people accidentally get hit. And it's like, how was that even an accident? You should have heard that motherfucker coming. You should have seen it.
Unless
Yeah.
Because especially when you're on foot, there's no reason
Right.
you wouldn't hear it, especially if
Whoa.
you're walking on the tracks. Like I said, I grew up around the railroad tracks, and me and my friends used to go up there and stick pennies and quarters and shit on it all the time and smash stuff.
Go, go.
Oh
you
yeah,
would
that's
feel-
always what they do.
I'm saying you would feel the vibration and actually hear the train
I don't
noise
have the other one
resonating
now.
through the
Go.
tracks a mile or two before it even got
down.
to you. So you knew it was coming.
My cousin and his best friend went in a little Corvair, one of those little Corvairs years back, and they saw the train coming, and they decided they wanted to beat it. So Bobby had already been hit by a train a couple years earlier, going to work early in the morning. It was foggy, and he was going across tracks, and the train was coming, and there was nobody there to let him know, and he couldn't see it, and he was pinned in the car for like 4 hours. So Bobby's having a fit with Mike, saying, "Are you crazy? Stop, stop, stop." So Mike was playing chicken trying to beat this train. At the last minute, he decides to turn off. When he turned off, he lost control of the Corvair and wrapped the sucker around the telephone pole instead. He wanted to kill Mike. None of them got hurt,
Yeah.
but the
And all
car looked kind of messed up.
All our crossings here now too, like if there's a sidewalk that goes across them, they actually have little mini gates that come down in front of the sidewalks now too. So they have one that goes, the big tall ones that go down for the cars, and then they'll have two on each side for the sidewalk that will actually come down in front of the sidewalk and tell you to stop. Because we have quite a few of them where their sidewalks go across the tracks. There's like 4 or 5 of them around my area that are like that, and they have little tiny gates that come down in front of them. Or it's like those people that get high centered on railroad track crossings. And instead of getting out of the fucking car and getting off the tracks for safety reasons, they try to stay in the car. I'm like, get the fuck out of the car. I understand you want to get your car off the tracks, but fuck. Like if you don't get
Your car can be replaced, but you can't.
Well, that's the thing too. If 911 can get a hold of the railroad company quick enough and they can stop the trains, that's one thing. But if it's one of those crossings where there's a train every 20, 30, 40 minutes, yeah, your chances of them getting a hold of them and actually stopping a train before it hits you is going to be real slim. Because those trains take a couple miles to stop. I mean, it's not just, they don't stop on a dime.
Yeah, they can't put a brake. They can't slam a brake hard enough to stop.
That's what I'm saying. Is like those trains, especially if they're in the wide open and they're doing 60, 70 down the track. Yeah, they ain't stopping for at least a couple miles.
I just came in on the conversation. Justin, did your car break down again? On a train track?
No.
I think it did. Hey, Joe, did you order the fan?
Joe?
No.
Yeah,
His mic's
No.
muted.
Sending
Wake up,
everything back
Joe.
to Amazon, everything.
Did they try to deliver it yet?
No, it's still got just a label. My lying to me. It's never been shipped.
I think they're going to send you the new one.
They keep both of them.
Mine's smelling like plastic still. I need to call them and say I need it replaced.
You need to tell them it smells like it's something burning.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't wait too long because they'll say, well, why didn't you call us right away?
Man, geez. I got a Venmo for one of the guys today, kids today. And I looked at the picture because the mom sent it to me, and I said, "Haven't seen her. It's got to be a freshman." And it says basketball picture B freshman. The guy's name is Escoban A. Pedroza Grant. A hell of it. That's a lot of name to put on something.
I'm shooting our high school basketball
Go.
game tonight.
Lance is shooting a high school basketball game tonight, Joe.
Yeah, me too.
And I've got
Yeah,
to
I got
do swimming and bowling on the 12th. I can hammer out 2 at one day, on one sitting practically. I like those days. And they both start pretty much right after school.
How do you manage to get the photos of the bowling? All you can see is the back of them as they go to line.
No, I step right on the lane and they throw the ball right at me.
Yeah, and he jumps.
Yeah, and I'm very agile. Yeah, that's the drawback. But I stand on the side, so I get the side, and I also get ones from the back. But you're right.
Mm. They should
And
really. They should have an empty lane in between so that you can get down that for taking pictures.
Yeah, but have you ever stepped on those lanes?
They're slippy.
It's worse than ice.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
you hit that lane and you're on your back.
Yeah.
But I might go to there's a side entrance on the very far side that I could walk down probably and shoot back up with the telephoto because they're at the other end of
Oh, easy way of doing it. Put the drone above the lane.
Yeah, there you go. Get the Neo. See if it
and
stays
he
up.
would probably let me do that too. I might see if I can do that. And I would do the Avata 2, I think. And do it during warm up so I'm not bothering the kids.
Mm.
That's a good idea, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking they might say something about you doing it because it might bother them. They'd be focusing on the drone.
Or I could even do it at practice maybe and just have them throw their jerseys on.
Yeah.
Why would you want to mount a camera at the end of a bowling lane?
Take pictures of people bowling, TJ.
TJ, lean forward. Lean forward.
Well, no. I thought. Well, when he said, when Dusty said
TJ's
that-
looking for the reaction of the pins when they get hit.
In fact,
Well, no,
that
Promising here.
comment was so bad that we need 2 people to lean forward. Justin, lean forward. Justin has no humor this morning. He must have had a bad trip on the bus.
Yeah, no, Justin's just he's kind of chilling today.
Yeah, one of the kids must have sold him some bad weed.
Blew it through his ear.
That's funny. I sold him some bad weed.
Oh, this is promising.
Be quiet, dog.
What, did
Maybe
they
not.
finally put the label on the DJI 1000?
No, I'm looking at this freshman mom that sent me a Venmo for her son, and she looks like she's single, and she's got a little Marissa Tomei look in her 30s. Yeah, she's single. I'll see what she looks like tonight at the game. It's probably old pictures too. Let me go back and look at the dates. I always know when. Yeah, it's 2020. That's 4 years ago. 29. Oh, okay. The only picture she got is 2020. She didn't gain any weight because she's an RN and specializes in diabetes. So she's keeping people thin. Or making them eat right at least. But she got that Marissa Tomei look. And when Marissa got in the middle 30s.
I'm watching that Netflix show, The Quarterbacks, the NFL quarterbacks, and they did one on Mariota of Atlanta. I don't know where he's playing now, but he has his own chef. So a chef comes in and cooks him breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Mondays he has off and he goes to McDonald's. Other than that, he's eating what the chef cooks him. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
My wife said, I want one of those.
But where would if you did that, where would you mount the camera so that way where it won't
You can stick it on the
get broken
ceiling
by a
looking
bolt?
down. You're thinking too
on
hard,
your
TJ.
forehead. On your forehead. So every time it's been slapped.
On your forehead.
For leading from one of those comments to the other, in the kitchen, that's where the chef usually goes.
Yeah, I guess you could like put it like somewhere like above, so where like it like points downward. Because I guess they do that when you're watching a bowling game on TV. Like they have the ball like going into the pins and the camera's pointing down.
I've got my Insta 360 with a pole. I could stick it out there on the lane. It's only a 10-foot pole though.
Yeah.
You can stand behind the guy and have it over his head, sticking out in front of him. And when he starts running, you got to run with him.
Yeah, you'd have to make a zip line for it.
Zip line.
Hey, Joe, have you taken pictures with the Avata 2?
Have I taken any?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I might have.
Yeah, I don't even, I would have to think about how to do, you would switch it over to photo and then there must be a
Actually, with the Avata 2, I probably have not because I haven't flown it. I've only flown with the motion controller.
Okay. Yeah, how would you do that? Oh, there's a button on the side. Isn't there a camera button? Or is that only on the Avata 1?
I think it's on the side too.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to look. I know I have it. I'm gonna do a little.
Why would you want to take why would you want to take a picture with a FPV drone when you could just throw a camera drone up instead?
Dude, we've been talking about bowling alleys.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
So the Avata 2 I could fly inside. In fact, that was the bowling alley video that I did. Flying through the bowling alley and the golf course and the restaurant. That's our home. That's our home field.
I would point down at the pins actually, because it's cool to see them get knocked over.
Yeah, but then you can't see the people who are actually bowling. And the idea is to take pictures of the people bowling.
If I put I can put my 360 on top of my Avata 2 and start with them bowling. It could be a video for my broadcast. I might look into that.
Will it go on? Will it slung underneath it?
No, it will. I mounted on top, so it would lose the ball as it rolled over the
drone.
Avata.
Yeah.
I could probably mount it below, or if the Air 2S was stable enough, I could do that.
There's the sphere.
And put on my sphere. Yeah. Know that I've never flown the sphere inside. Paul, have you flown yours in your living room yet?
No.
Will you do that right now?
Don't encourage him.
Well, he flew in 45-mile-an-hour winds when you told him to.
Yeah, you told him. You get that right.
He thought I said
That's-
send it. I said don't send it.
Oh, no, that's not what you said. And then Joe agreed with you. Yes, go ahead.
And that's not what I said. So
What
you
you
have
said is
selective
you'll-
hearing there, Paul.
What he said is you'll have to mend it, not send it.
No, I told him to take two drones with him. One to throw in the water to appease the gods, and the second one to fly and hopefully you get it back.
Hey, Justin, why are you so salty today?
What are you talking about? I was on the phone.
Okay, you sound salty now. I'm just curious.
No, I was pissed off because Amazon charged me twice for the same order. And they put my PayPal card negative, so I had to call PayPal. I called
Oh, geez.
Amazon today because I only had $64 on my card, and they charged me $194 for shit I already paid for 5 days ago that I've already received and have. I
Yeah.
literally have the products already. And if you go through my PayPal history, you can see where they charged me $25 for this item, $400 for this item, you know, all the different shit I bought.
Yeah.
But all the little stuff I bought equaled up to $194. They charged me again this morning for it and put my account negative. So
Gotcha.
they told me they were like, and the thing is my card shouldn't be able to go negative. So I don't know how the hell that got approved. And so I called up PayPal. I was like, yeah, I'm not paying them twice. I was like, I'm supposed to have $64 on there of my money out of the $194 they charged me. I said, I just want my $64 back. I was
Did
like,
they get it?
yeah, they said that they're going to give it back to me. It's just going to take a couple days, but
What'd you end up ordering off Amazon anyways?
well, it was just a bunch of little things for Christmas, and then it's a couple things I needed for work. So, but it
Label
all equaled up,
created.
but like I said, if you go through my Amazon history of payments, you can see where they charge me for each item separately, $25, $30, you know, and if you add it all up, it equals up to $194.
Mhm.
But
I
what?
went to the store this morning to get a couple things and realized my card was getting declined. I was like, what the fuck? So I had to use my other
Well-
card and I had to call them up.
If you paid for the thing, if you paid for your stuff once already, why were they charging
I
you
don't know.
twice?
I called up Amazon and said, when the hell did you guys start sending items out and then charging people for them? They said, what do you mean? I said, well, I already paid for them. You sent them to me. I have them in my possession. And then you charged me again.
I think we should stop TJ from watching the panel when Andrew's on it.
and Andrew's
Yeah.
kind of rubbing off on me, I think. That's funny.
No, I got it fixed. They're going to give it back to me. So, because
Uh,
Amazon even told me, they were like, well, it shouldn't have went through because you didn't have enough money in the account. I said, that's what I'm saying. Where the hell's my money at? I was like, one, there wasn't enough in there to cover the balance, and two, I already paid for those items.
Yep.
PayPal shouldn't never let it gone through to begin with because I have a thing on there so it doesn't go, it can't overdraft.
I was forced into making an order on Amazon last night. Terrible. I had to order a case for this Neo and the goggles and stuff.
I got all the kids' stuff finally finished for Christmas, so they're done. And I got a really good deal on an iPhone 12 at Walmart yesterday.
oh, nice.
They had
Already
some clearance sales on them. Got it for
Was
$200.
TJ working?
Yeah,
Do what?
I don't go until noon, so
I got the
At Walmart?
iPhone 12 Pro
No.
for $249.
Well, I guess that's cheap. I don't know.
Well, it's $100 cheaper than what my Amazon wanted for it.
Oh, it's all right.
I originally was going to order it from Amazon, but they wanted 380 something.
Mhm.
And why checked Walmart. We went into Walmart and they had some clearance deals on the same company that me and Sarah use for our phones. So
Uh-huh.
just bought one straight out from them.
All right.
How do they get the name of, like, you have Walmart and then Walgreens? Like, what's the wall like?
Because Sam Walton was his last name. Was Walton.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know about Walgreens, but that's where Walmart came from. This half of it was his last name.
So it's not a partnership with somebody called Martin. It's just as in market.
Yeah.
Kelsey, I was getting Kelsey a new iPhone for Christmas. She's got the XR and it's kind of, she's had it for a couple of years and it's a little bit beat up. So told her I'd get her, upgrade her a couple generations. I told her, I said, you ain't getting a 15 or 16. So
Did you have the
a
one
12 or a 13?
Where did you have the one with the button on it?
No, that's the iPhone SE. She had the XR, which was technically the iPhone 10, but they didn't call it the 10. They called it the XR. You either had the iPhone X or the XR, which was the bigger one.
Anyone here on the panel have the fold phone that's Android?
No.
Talking about the Samsung Galaxy Fold?
Yeah.
No.
Maybe-
The fold phones interest me, but I would still wait a few more. Like they're getting better every generation they come out with. The screens are getting better as far as the creasing issue goes, but I still think they're about 5 years from being perfected.
Yeah, my brother purchased one and probably had it a month and it broke. So he got a new one and he's had it about a year and a half now. I don't know exactly how long, but it's been fine. His folds sideways, not up and down. So his is like a friggin' tablet.
Yeah, they got two different versions.
I know the one you're talking about. I think
they
that
got
if
one.
I had that. No, I was just gonna say if I had that phone with that crease in the middle, I'd be like, man, that's kind of annoying.
Well, that's why I said they've gotten better with them because they're rated for so many times of opening and closing. But the materials have gotten a little better over the last couple of years since the first generation of them. So.
And I really didn't notice the crease either, TJ. I don't know if you've seen one live, but I sat next to him and it was like, oh, that doesn't look obvious. It didn't look obvious to me.
It did or did not?
Did not. So it looked fine. It looked, but like Justin said, there's probably only so many opens and closes for that thing.
Yeah.
And think about how many times people are on their phone a day. Dude, they probably open and close that fucking thing probably a couple hundred times a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, on average.
Man, that crease is getting annoying. Can it go away?
Yeah.
The first generation of them were horrible. People were literally buying them. And some people, the minute they opened it up, brand new, it'd freaking break the middle of the screen. They were that fragile.
And I don't know what generation he had, but like I said, he didn't have it long before it broke.
I think they're on their third or fourth generation of them now.
I should ask him. I'm gonna text him when I get off the road. Say, what generation did you have?
The next generation.
The Pepsi generation.
I mean, they're interesting and everything, but yeah, and they're super expensive. They're like around, I think around 12 to 1500, something like that.
Wow. But that's his computer too. He doesn't even use his computer at home. He opens up his phone. It's big enough. Hey, TJ, don't be ordering for me. I'm going to pull into McDonald's here in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that? Have any of you guys seen the Tri-Flip phone that Huawei came out with? Obviously, you can't use it in the US, but Huawei came out with a triple, it has two folding screens on it. So it
Wow.
opens up to like a 10-inch tablet or some shit. Or it's like a 7 or 10-inch when it opens up completely. But they were having the same problem that Samsung did with the first generation. They're very fragile. There was a bunch of videos of people in China buying them, and then they were opening them, and as soon as they would open it, they would crack the screen.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, Paul and Joe and Mark and I remember Dick Tracy as kids, the comic
Yep.
strip. You guys
Oh,
probably
yeah,
remember
yeah,
it
yeah.
later. But I mean, you know, to talk into your phone, we thought that was such a cool idea.
Talking to your watch.
And now,
Yeah.
now it's like you can do it.
That's like that show. Oh, what the heck was it? It was an old show that would come on.
About Inspector Gadget.
No, not Inspector Gadget. It was
Get
kind of
Smart.
like that, but it was. Oh yeah, Get Smart, and he had his shoe for a phone, so he would take his shoe off and talk into his shoe on the shoe phone.
And the cone of silence.
Yeah, that's fun.
I see a lot. There's a lot of elementary kids that have the smartwatches. Like their parents, they don't have cell phones, but they have the smartwatches that have the SIM card in them.
Yeah.
And they can call their parents. Like it's set to like a preset of like 10 numbers or something you can put in there.
Yeah.
And it's just for them to call their parents and stuff. I see a lot of elementary kids with those, and then their parents can track them with them. See where they're at.
They don't lose them because they're on their wrist as well.
Right.
Yeah. Mind you, you can tell that Justin is definitely not of the older generation if he thinks Inspector Gadget is an old program.
Well, when did Inspector Gadget first come out? Wasn't it like the 70s or something?
No. Probably the 90s.
Yeah, it's
Was it?
probably
Hold
like
on.
90s after I was born.
Mm.
Hold on, let me see.
So I was born in '83, so it must have came out right after that.
That was 1982. I thought it was
Yeah.
late 70s.
83.
that was a
That's
little
when I
off.
met my.
No, 82, not 83.
That is the TV.
I started working in 82, so
What's up, Dre?
Great. Jonathan. Waypoint. East Coast.
Morning, Brian.
Yeah, Inspector Gadget came out in the '80s.
1980?
I think so, according to Dre.
Because Google says March, the exclusive pilot was on December 4th, 1982. On March 14th, 1983, it was announced the series would be released in late 1983, consisting of 65 episodes. So it was conceived in 82, but didn't really come to fruition until 83. I was thinking late 70s on Inspector Gadget.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Dre's rubbing it in, Joe. Did you read the chat?
I'm not even looking.
Justin.
Yeah, I heard. It might be mine. I think mine got rerouted. All I got is the label. I feel like Charlie Brown on Halloween. I got a rock.
You still haven't gotten anything?
Nope.
Fuck. It might just be like Donald, though. It's probably going to take a few weeks.
You
Yeah,
should feel
Donald's
like
drone took almost a month before he got it.
Charlie Brown with the Christmas tree.
Well, that was a cool Christmas tree though.
And I mean, you kind of got to factor in the Christmas stuff and all the holiday crap that's going through the mail too. That could be the reason it's being held up.
Did
Could
you?
not- it-
I made them all
Everybody
jealous.
got theirs already, except me.
but it depends. Did a lot of those people order it from the same? Did you
Yep.
order straight from DJI?
I ordered it from Amazon. A bunch of them bought it from Amazon.
Hey, just
Yeah.
did you hear how I made them all jealous?
It's all right.
I ordered the Neo at 4:30 on Tuesday afternoon, and it arrived at 1:30 on Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, but the reason they sent that out so fast because they don't want to be stuck with those little trash drones.
Yeah, I'm surprised people are still buying them after everybody's dogging on them so bad.
I ordered the one with the new goggles and the motion controller.
Now with the motion control, it's probably gonna fly better. Because like I said, I've got 15 flights on the Neo, and about 6 of them with the motion controller, and it's better flights.
So
Yeah.
when's that
It's easy
flip one
to, it
supposed to come
responds
out?
better.
Well, I'm hoping. The reason why I did it is I'm hoping that they will make the N3 goggles work with the 4 as well.
Yeah,
When does that flip come out?
it comes out like in the beginning of the year, but it will never make it here because it gets stuck in custom.
Did it get approved already?
Yeah, it got
Yeah, it's all been approved.
A couple
Yeah.
days ago,
But
the FAA.
So was the Air 3, and look what happened. You know,
And we'll see if
Pressure, shut it.
see how much those prices get jacked up if any tariffs get put in place.
Hmm.
But because so far all the threat of tariffs has worked without actually having to implement them.
yep,
Mexico folded like a fucking taco.
yep.
Yeah.
Even Canada's even putting people on the border to protect the border. Because they don't want to be the 51st state.
Mexico, yeah, they fucking folded quick when they heard that.
Speaking of which, can you see the chat? I mean, you see the pictures, Justin?
No, can't see any pictures.
I got my new credit card.
Oh, there you go. It's got Trump on it.
Yeah, it's Trump we trust.
Trump we trust. That's awesome.
No, it's actually a skin that goes over the top of it.
Mm.
There's that, like I said, there's that company that's pretty big on social media right now that's doing people laser engravings for credit cards. You just send them off your bank card, and
Yeah.
then they'll laser engrave all the numbers and everything, and they'll transfer the chips and all that, and they'll put
Yeah.
whatever design you want on it. They look pretty cool. They're just like a steel credit card.
That'd
It's
be
got the
pretty cool. What's it
magnetic.
cost? How much that should cost?
I don't know, but they put a magnetic strip on it, and they even transfer the chip over from it to the steel credit card. It's made out
You
of
know,
like
the
either
bad part
aluminum
about it's
or
only good
something.
for a couple of years.
Well, the other bad thing about it is
Hmm.
you've given
No,
all of
it-
your financial information over to a third party.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only bad part.
it's even got the security number on the
Yeah.
back.
Security on the
They got the
back.
chipset.
But it ain't. I mean, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, how many companies do you call? Like when you call a pizza delivery place, and you have to give them all that. I mean, you don't know if that chick or the dude
No,
or girl
but
behind the counter is writing that shit down.
We don't have to give them the security number on the back.
They ask for it here. If you call and order pizza online over the phone, they'll ask you for it.
No, not real.
Yeah, pizza we never did.
And then there's been people that have been caught skimming cards in drive-throughs too. You remember that video a couple years ago? That fucking woman went ape shit on that chick in the McDonald's drive-through.
Yeah.
She saw her put her card through a skimmer that she had in her hand, And she called the cops and they came in there and found out the chick had like 200 credit cards on this little skimming machine. She would swipe it in the machine and then she would reach down and swipe it into her little skimmer she had in her hand. And the lady happened to notice her do it and wanted to know why she took her credit card down to behind the counter in the drive-through. And she went apeshit on that girl.
The heck is a skimmer?
Card
They-
reader.
they- what they do is they swipe your card and then it takes all the information off of the card and stores it, and then they can go and use it later to buy shit or sell the information to somebody.
Oh, well, that's a pretty big scam.
You
right
got to
there.
watch it when you're like at gas pumps and shit too, because the thing is like gas pumps in most, like here in Florida, right? They all have to be
Right.
state inspected. And so all the keys are universal. And so these guys will break into the machines. They'll either get their hands on the keys or they know how to get into the machine and break it. And they'll pop it open and they'll put credit card skimmers inside. Or they have really fancy ones where you'll go into a store and they'll actually place an entire skimmer over top of a credit card, like one of the ones you do at the register.
Yeah, they do that with the ATMs.
Yeah, you gotta. What I do is every time I use a machine like that, I actually grab and pull on it, see if anything pops off of it. And then if you look at the gas stations, like here in Florida, TJ, they have a state seal sticker on the gas pump over where it closes, like the gap
Yeah.
between where it opens and it closes. They put a state seal sticker on there, and if that's broken, you're supposed to let the attendant know in the gas station, don't use that pump. Because that
I don't
means
think I've
somebody could have broke into
I'll
it.
have to look like the next time I'm at a gas station. I'll have to look for that. I don't think I've ever noticed that before.
Yeah, there's a seal that the gas stations have to have, and it will say the name of the gas station, and it will have like a state inspection number on
Is
the
it
seal. It's
like
a little red sticker,
Oh, it's a little red sticker.
and you'll see it. It goes across. They'll stick it to one side of the machine, and then they run across the gap to where the machine opens, and they stick it to the side. So the only way you can get that sticker off there is you have to either cut it or pop the machine open and break it.
Oh, I'll have to look for that. I've never seen that before, or never noticed
Yeah,
it, or whatever. Maybe I didn't. I was like, what the hell is that thing?
I mean, granted, it's a pain in the ass if somebody does steal your credit card information, but I mean, you can always get it fixed.
Middle of the goddamn afternoon.
Kind of sucks when it does happen though, because it is an inconvenience for a week or so till you get it
Not
straightened
Yeah.
out. But
time.
I've never had an issue of I've had like 1 or 2 credit cards that where the information has gotten stolen, and I've always gotten my money back. It just took about a week.
What's that? Lance having a milkshake for his breakfast.
Yep.
We can hear you sucking it through the straw.
Shake. Mm.
What Brian said in the bag is awesome.
What was in the bag?
He's talking about that DJI bag. They're just giving Joe shit.
Oh,
Dre, my bag comes,
Sit.
I think on the 16th.
Sit. I
I'm
didn't
back.
say back. I said, okay.
Stupid ass computer restarted.
oh, did it just randomly shut off on you?
Yeah, it said updating and it restarted on.
No. So, I guess
couldn't
every once
stop
in a
it.
while things need to update, I guess.
Update this shit in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Well, if I've been working on pictures, I'd have been pissed.
I got mine where I have to do the updates and then I have to restart the computer myself.
Yeah, I thought I had
So
that
it
too. I might have to go check.
So it doesn't auto restart. Because I've had them do them in the middle of live streams before where it updated and I just waited till after to restart the computer.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to tell me to restart, and it said restarting like this, and I looked to see it, and all of a sudden you kicked on me that fast. I would have had 32 RAM, I could have caught it. It gave me a chance to go to the bathroom. So all worked out for the best.
There you go. I think Laura was asking you if you checked your mail yet.
And I told Laura early this morning that my informed delivery doesn't say I have anything coming today at all.
That was like an hour
Nothing.
ago. TJ, refresh your chat.
I know. Well, no, well, no, like it is, but like I don't know, man. I don't know.
But you
Yeah,
really can't go by, well, TJ got his and then I got mine because it's all different every state. Plus, like I
Yeah.
said, with the holiday, all the shit moving through the mail for the holidays and stuff's going to take longer in certain areas.
yeah, I got something I want to look for. Like I said, I sent something to my son up in North Carolina. Can't see the date I mailed it. I mailed it on, what was it, 26th? Yeah, I mailed it on 26th. 3 days, right? Yesterday was in Jacksonville. Jacksonville got to have a bottleneck. Because you get caught in Jacksonville too.
Yep. That's where all my stuff comes to normally.
And everything gets bottlenecked right there. So
That's
it's telling me
big,
somebody need to be fired.
the big hub. Well, it was even worse back a few years back before Amazon started doing all their own shipping. Remember back when they used to use the post office for everything? Good God, dude.
Yeah.
These little post office in the middle of bumfuck Egypt would get just fucking hammered with thousands of Amazon packages that they normally wouldn't have had, you know, because they were some little like transfer hub for the post office.
So I mailed this thing on the 26th. U.S. ground advantage 3 days, right? They're going to get it today. 8 days, 9 days. What does that suck? Expected
Yeah,
delivery
UPS.
today by 6:40.
UPS and FedEx and even Amazon now all have helpers in their trucks. Amazon started doing it too. Now you're seeing 2 people per truck per van now. Because they just
The
both
wind's
jump
blowing at
out.
about 35 out there. Is power out there flying.
Probably.
You can see that
Yep.
flag right there. The flag is saying it's at least 35 miles an hour. Might be 40 because of the way it's whipping. See, when it starts to slink like that, it's only about 35.
Paul don't care. He'll go out there when
That's
it's
in the
fucking
40s.
raining.
Yeah, he needs to take the Neo out and toss the Neo in as a sacrifice, and then fly us air to us, and hopefully they'll take the sacrifice and let him get his back. Well, that was terrible yesterday. They showed the guy walking by the Hilton, that CEO. The guy walks up behind him within 4 feet
Yeah.
of him and pops him in the back and leg. And
Yeah, I saw the unedited video. The news didn't show.
yeah,
Because they're too chicken shit to show the full video. They always got to blur it out.
his gun jammed.
Yeah, it looked
Because
like it jammed a couple times.
Yeah, he racked it 3 times, And you see,
Yeah.
this is where they're gonna know who this guy. They probably already know who this guy is, because first off, he got he had one of those scooters he had to use a credit card for. That could be a fake credit card, but when he dropped those rounds, even if he's wearing gloves, some point in time he picked those rounds up without gloves and it got DNA on it, all
Oh, and
fingerprint.
I'd almost bet you that guy was probably a disgruntled patient of that company or
Well, that's
a
what I'm thinking. His
family
mom might
member.
have died, because they couldn't get the health care fast enough, or they
Yeah, it's
refused
something like
something.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I guarantee that's what it was.
he's either an ex-patient or he's a family member of an ex-patient.
Yeah, it's got to be the reason.
Because you saw the lady ran right past him and he didn't even pay attention to the lady. It
They
wasn't
weren't
like he
worried
was.
about him.
You could
Right.
tell he wasn't randomly killing people. He was targeting that dude.
Yeah, it was targeted, and he stood out. They said he was out there for several hours.
And you got to go back a couple weeks of video footage out there because I guarantee that dude probably stalked that dude for a couple weeks to get a timeline of when he normally comes out and everything else. Because
Yep.
I doubt he just.
He wasn't at his work, though, was he? He was at a conference.
Yeah, he was at a big healthcare conference.
I would. So, but is that? I wonder if that's like a normal building that they use or something. I don't know.
They had
It
some
just seems-
inside information that.
Yeah, that's definitely. I guarantee it's definitely somebody that had to do with a patient at some point, or they were an ex-patient, probably on their deathbed or something.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably the last few months of living, and they decided to take a guy out.
Yeah,
I don't care, dude. If I'm a CEO of a big company, you best believe I'm gonna have some kind of security. I ain't gonna just be walking around.
they said the other ones do. He's the only one that doesn't.
I mean, because you're just gonna be naturally, you could be a target at any point.
Is Dre still on here?
Dre was never
Maybe.
actually on the panel, but he was
He
in the
was, he was
chat.
in the chat. He's
He hasn't
back
said
now.
anything in a minute.
I think he showed this the other day. Let me turn my camera on. But his was motorized. So this is a cheese plate.
Well, that's kind of cool.
This is a
Yeah, he
cheese
has-
plate here. And I set my tripod, I set my my gimbal here for my camera. And mine's human motorized. And I bought some Hot Wheels, some trucks, roller
You're talking about
skates, not roller
skateboard
skates,
trucks?
but skateboard, and I can turn it a little bit, so it does go in a circle, but only so far. And at any rate, that's kind of I've had this for 10 years, and I
Kind of cheese
I
you
thought
put on there?
Brady-
Sharp, mild?
say that again.
Something about cheese, I heard.
But I could tie a string on it and pull it, or kick it with my foot in the back. But anyway, you can turn these and it'll go. But when I saw Dre's motorized, I thought that's a better deal. You
Just
Hit a
take an
button and
RC car and take the body off and put that plate on top.
Yeah.
Somebody said that it would be too shaky.
Yeah, that
what
was
I said.
JD said it.
Yeah.
It's too shaky.
But I still want to try that.
How can it be too shaky? They're supposed to be stabilized cameras.
Well, it's how good is the
DSLR.
stabilization though.
It's my DSLR I put on there.
Ah, right. So not quite stabilized.
No, not at all.
Well, I guess it probably would be depend on too is how fast would you be going? What kind of wheels would be on it? Because if you had some like, RC car with some like off-road type wheels
cushion
like a
wheels.
Traxxas or something, it'd probably be a little bouncy. Where if you had some really smooth wheels and you're
Might
just doing
be-
it on cement or something, it might be okay.
If you put in the DSLR on a gimbal on the remote control car, that would be stabilized.
Yeah, sure. You have to have a pretty hefty gimbal.
No, not really. Depends on the size of the lens you've got on it.
So DJI has a 36% up to 36% off holiday sale going on.
Joe, stay off the internet. He over here promoting DJI sales, and he still ain't got his power bank.
Yeah, I'm not. The Air 3S, 36% off today.
Yeah, but you have a 45% chance you won't get it.
You got an 80% chance.
Yeah, it's not often 100% chance you won't get it.
Yeah, they need to match the percentage off to what the percentage of you receiving it is.
Yeah.
Because people are literally buying their shit and just sitting back hoping they get it, where they get their money back.
Hey, Mr. Professional Pilot Lance, got a question for you when you get a chance.
Even Jonathan was talking about driving up to Canada to get his Air 3S.
Oh, that's a hell of a drive for him because he's nowhere near Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might as well drive up there to get one at the as close as he is.
Sending Paul Murray for it and get him and post it.
It wouldn't be another. Yeah, it wouldn't be another 4 or 5 hours for me to drive up there from where Jonathan's at. Yeah, if you were like in New York or Michigan or something like that, yeah, you might as well just drive across the border and get it. Even if you're, even if it's a 2-3 hour drive, it'd be worth the time to go if you wanted it that bad.
I'm surprised that Dale hasn't actually done that and gone and got some, because he runs his own drone sales business in Seattle. So all he's got to do is drive across the border, really.
So has I take it Dobo hasn't gotten anything in or anything? I know he got the one Air 3S, but
I think
his company.
I think he got one out of the 3 that was supposed to arrive or something.
Yeah, his were probably coming under retail.
No,
Thing is,
the one that arrived was the one that DJI sent him as an influencer, but not the first one. It was, they had to send it again.
And that's the thing is he can't. It's not like he could just go and buy a bunch of them privately as private sales, because there would be no money to be made unless DJI knew it was him doing it and gave him his wholesale price on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Otherwise, there'd be no money to be made. So it's not like he can. He'd have to get a hold of DJI and say, "Hey, I'm going to order it under these names. Make sure you add that wholesale price to it, so I'm not paying full price." But that would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because I think the only ones that aren't getting through now are the ones that are going to retailers. The ones that are going to individuals are filtering through slowly.
Yeah, it's all the retail orders that are getting stopped. Which kind of makes you wonder too. It's like, that's what I said. That'd be the only way he could try to get around it, is he'd have to have like 10 different names and credit cards and try to order them in batches. Yeah. But he'd have to get a hold of DJI to get that wholesale price, because he wouldn't, like I said, he'd have to upcharge the shit out of those things to make any money off of them.
Yeah.
But then if you got caught doing that, you might get in trouble, because I'm sure there's some kind of law that says you can't do that. Being a business, so I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there ain't some law against that.
Well, the Neo combo that I ordered said it was open box and it was 30 quid cheaper than it should have been. But when I got it and I opened it, the seal was still across the top of the box. All of the bags were still sealed inside. The only thing was missing was the cellophane from around the box.
Yep, but they can't sell it because technically it's open.
Mm.
That's what I got when I got the Mini One from Amazon. I got it for like 100 and I want to say I paid like 160 or 70 for it when it was brand new,
Uh-huh.
and it was open box. And at the time, I think it was $299.
That's
And
a
I
good
got, yeah, I got a really good deal on it. And I opened it up. Now it wasn't the Flymore; it was just the standard.
Ah.
'Cause I think the standard was $250 at the time. It was like a $50 difference between that and the Flymore kit, something like that. Might have been $100 difference, but I ended up getting like $80 or $90 off on it, and there was nothing missing out of it. All the stickers were still on the drone, everything. That
Yeah.
was the same thing. The only thing that was missing was the cellophane on the box.
So you just got the drone and the controller, or just the drone by itself?
No, it was a drone controller and one battery, and that was it.
Mm.
But it was a really good deal. I just can't remember what the Mini One was at the time. I think the Flymore was $299. Might have been $399, something like that. I can't remember. It was like $100 difference, I think, between the non-Flymore and the Flymore. Might have been $150, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, the motion controller goggles N3 drone Flymore kit is £408 here. And I got it for £379 and then ordered a set of the three Freewell filters for it for £19.99, 20 quid. So it cost me £499, with
Yeah, it's right at.
£399, which with PayPal paying 3 is just 133 quid a month for 3 months. So
Yeah, right. And I remember about 3 months after I bought the Mini One is when I want to say it was like 3 or 4 months is when the Mini Two came out, and I ended up buying that too.
yeah, I've got a Mini One still, some in one of them boxes, in one of them bags.
That's the Mini Two and the Air Two. That was like around the time when DJI started pumping out a lot of shit. You know, they used to sit on a drone for a couple years before the next model came out. Now it was like every 8 months to a year they were bringing out something.
Yeah.
Because I bought the Air 2 probably, I want to say about 6 months after it came out. And I think the Air 2S came out like 4 or 5 months after that, the Air 2S, something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't have it very long.
I mean, I bought my Pro Platinum first. And then I thought I could do with a mini drone because of the regulations and the way they are. So I bought a Mini 2 off eBay and ended up being sent an Air 2 instead. So then I managed to find myself a Mini 1. Well, it cost me 150 quid for a Flymore in a hard case, which wasn't bad.
Yeah, the only one that they don't seem to pump out a new model every year of is the Mavic Pro,
Yeah.
like the Pro series.
Yeah, that's about every 3 years.
Yeah, because I think the last one, the Pro, between the Pro 2 and the 3, was about 5 years. I want to say it was quite a while. It was like almost 5 years.
Mavic 3 Pro came out. It might be 4 years when the original Mavic 3 came out.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. It's been at least 3 years.
Then you had the Classic, and then you had the Pro.
Yeah, because that was I remember everybody was talking about when they brought out the Classic after the original, and it was like, how are you going to call it a Classic when it's the second version?
Yeah, and it's got
right.
Because the original Pro, I think, came out in 2016-ish.
Because the only way you could justify the word classic is if the original one came out and then they discontinued it and came back out with it like a year later and
Yeah.
started reselling it. Then you could call it the Mavic 3 Classic.
Mm. Well, they did discontinue the original Mavic 3 with the 2 lenses on it.
Right, and if they brought it back out and said we're going to resell it at a little bit cheaper price,
Yeah,
and we're going to start, then you could call it a classic.
Yeah. Stopped making the original Mavic 3 with 2 lenses, started making a classic with only 1 lens, and then brought out the Pro with 3 lenses.
Well, the one with the 2 lenses, I don't think nobody really ended up really liking that one too much,
They
right?
didn't like it because of the 70mm lens on it, the zoom lens on it, the telephoto lens that was on it wasn't particularly good. Basically, it was too small a sensor, really.
I don't know why my camera isn't working on my laptop, but you guys can't see me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Hi, JDF.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Laura was telling me that Amanda said shut up, and then she was like, and then she's like, no, I didn't. And then I said Laura was putting words in her mouth, and she's like,
What's up,
no,
Amanda?
she told me to tell him she's lying.
All right, I'm
Lost.
jumping
I
off. I'll
thought the
catch y'all
classic-
later.
I thought the
All right,
classic was
Justin.
in the middle,
Yeah, Justin.
Jonathan.
Not too far behind him. I gotta start getting ready for work soon
Yeah,
anyway.
I think we probably call it. Joe's getting tired.
I'm not tired. I got to goof around for a couple hours.
Yeah,
I'll
so,
be
I
out
mean,
of here.
we've
12
got all
o'clock, 12:15, probably
We've-
all the rest of the day.
nothing in.
What's that?
I said, us lot, we've got all day to do nothing in.
Got all day to do nothing.
Yeah,
Welcome to my world.
exactly. I've been
Yeah.
retired 15 years, Paul. Don't worry. Well, 15 years now. I've been retired.
I put this post on Facebook that said tomorrow, speaking today, is National Slap an Annoying Coworker Day. If you're not sure who that is, I would call in sick.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's good.
Man,
You got your
strip
hair,
off. I need
you
to
got
ask him
your
a
hair
question.
up in a, you got your hair up in a mohawk there.
Yeah, he does.
Joe's growing a mohawk.
That's funny. That's good. That's good.
I don't think Joe understands your humor, PJ.
That's funny. That's good stuff.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Funny.
That's pretty
That's
good.
funny. So do you work today, TJ?
Yeah, I go in at noon today.
Oh, nooner, huh?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
an
gonna
hour
have
and a
to close.
half.
Yeah. I have to close tonight, so.
Oh, you're gonna
What time y'all
practice
close?
one for you,
One
one for
for
me,
me, one for
for
you,
you.
two for me.
There
What time y'all close, TJ?
9.
So you got a 9 hour day?
Yeah.
Yeah, with an hour. Well, no, you don't even get an hour for lunch, do you? You only get about half an hour.
Yeah.
Well, he's still on call because he's the boss.
I'm the boss, applesauce.
Yeah, but yeah, Pat.
But I bring food with me just to like eat on while I'm doing whatever. Well, actually, I'll just like eat and then I don't like to be like eating and going. Like I want to like just sit down and take a breather and just kind of
Now, do they have an office where you get to go into or hide out?
Yeah, but there's a break room, but the office is really small. So like I'll just sit behind, like I'll just sit in the we have a photo department, so I'll just sit behind there and just kind of, and just eat my food.
Good morning.
That's it. We thought you just sat in the car and that's it.
Well, I used to do that, but like I
We
just
used
sit
to do
and
that.
just eat. Yeah.
Every time we see you on here in the evening, you're in the car.
Yeah, but now that I took on this new position, I'm not really allowed to do that now. I have to like keep an eye on things that are going on.
All right.
Nah.
You're not allowed to take lunch.
Yeah, like we have a like I was saying earlier, we have a photo department, so I'll just sit behind there like in photos and
Yeah, but your new position, you're not allowed to take lunch.
He can take lunch, he just can't leave the shop.
yeah.
Well, that's not a lunch. Your lunch hour is your lunch hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. But I'll just sit,
So
like, I'll just sit
they allow you
like,
to eat while you're still working.
Yeah, normally we're as a shift lead, we have to like eat while we're working, but I don't like to do that though.
Do you have to clock out for your lunch?
No, not really. Like,
Oh, in that case,
as a shift lead, no, we just kind of shove food in our mouth.
But are they paying you for 8 hours or 9 hours? Well, he's getting salary now, right?
No, we get paid hourly.
So are you getting paid for that lunch hour or no?
I think so. Yeah.
Double
You don't
check.
know?
I think we are. I think we are.
You don't know.
You need to double check it. If they're taking an hour away from you, you need to leave the store.
Yeah. I don't know if we get paid for our lunch or not.
Well, if you're at the store and you're not leaving the store, they need to pay you for it.
Yeah.
If you leave the store, when you left before, did you punch out and punch back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how many people are there working at your store at any one time?
There's probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of us.
And is only one shift lead?
Yeah. Well, there's me and then maybe like two other shift leads.
But I mean, when you're working, do you have anybody else shift lead when you
Oh
work?
no, like towards the end of the night, it's just like me and one other person.
So
Or
when you go to
maybe, like,
lunch,
maybe two other.
so when you
two
go to
other
lunch,
people.
is there another shift lead?
Oh no, no, it's just me and like whoever else is working with me.
So they're all gone before you go to lunch.
Yeah.
Is there another manager there?
No, like he leaves about 5, I think.
So what he needs to do is make sure you go to lunch before he leaves.
Yeah.
That's in my case, when I was a GM, if people had to go to lunch and I was leaving, they had to go to lunch before I left.
Yeah, so that way somebody could still like watch what was
Because
going
it was
on.
my job since I was the GM, it was my job to make sure I was there. But if I went to lunch, I had to make sure I had shift managers on.
Yeah.
It doesn't go back.
Yeah, Donald jumped off. I got a trick question I need to ask, and Lance would answer it, and Donald would answer it. Paul could even answer it.
Go for it.
And okay, if you're flying near a mountain and you take off and you're Port 107, when you fly to the mountain, how high over that mountain can you go?
400 feet.
I agree.
400 feet above the ground level, directly below.
Yeah, it's
Directly
400
below the
feet
mountain.
above that top of that mountain.
Yep.
Unless you've got a waiver to fly higher.
So if you start at sea level and the mountain is 2,000 feet, you can fly up to the mountain, keep going, keep going, keep going. You can fly
Yeah.
2,400 feet.
Yeah, it's 400 feet AGL.
I agree.
So as the ground level increases, you can continue up.
Unless there's a flight restriction in the area.
That is
Correct.
correct. Or,
Right.
or it's restricted airspace.
But we're
Right.
talking
That is G airspace.
but we're talking about a general rule of flying above ground level.
Right.
How high you can
But
fly.
to throw it in there, you got G airspace.
Yep, yep. You
So
can-
400 above the highest point.
Yes.
Within 400 feet.
400
Yes.
feet.
Okay.
I have
Because
Cadena.
one of the main droners in the community was flying over some mountains the other day. And he says, I don't think I can get over these mountains because it's 400 feet.
I saw that video. I watched that video last night and I thought the exact same thing. I was like,
And I questioned it. You know what I was told? I could only go 400 AGL.
exactly.
Whose
But
video? Whose,
that's
Age
That's
400
not-
AGL is over
that's not
that
500.
point.
That's not 500. That's not 400 feet above where you're standing. That's 400 foot above the ground level.
So I
where the
just
drone
left
is
it
at.
whose
alone.
video was it?
Was
not
that
telling you.
person
Go find
in
it.
the US, in
That's
Europe?
when
Yeah.
he was flying the Red Rocks, right?
Yeah.
Now, if there was a cell tower on top of that mountain and it's 1,500 feet tall, how high could you fly?
1,900 feet above,
There you go. 1,900 feet above
Within
ground.
400 feet.
That's
within
2,000
400 feet of the cell tower.
Now,
Yep.
the problem you guys all missing is that DJI drones have a height limit of 1640.
Right.
So if wherever you're standing and you exceed that 16, if you try to exceed that 1640, the drone will stop.
Yeah,
It
that's what I
jumps
said.
into the drone
I see,
itself.
I've never actually run into the actual limit on those. I've gotten the warnings at 400 foot.
Yeah, you'll get some, you get one for, but I have drones that will exceed 400 feet and
Mhm.
will stop at 1640.
See, I've gotten the warnings, but you can go right through the warnings. But you're saying that there is an actual hard stop brick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Uncle Bob's video when he flies to above?
Yeah, Uncle Bob, Pilot Era.
Is that, I don't know how tall that mountain is that he flies up.
Well, that's why I'm saying it was Pilot Era. He lost sight of it. The drone went behind a mountain, and he lost signal.
Is that right?
Now, he's upset because he feels the return to home should have just got him around and back to where he was at. Like I said, if he exceeded that 1640 level, the drone's going to come down wherever it's at. It's
Mhm.
not going to make it back.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know that I would
Well-
ever try that.
Yeah, and
Unless
that's the
if
other
you're
thing
not-
you have to take into account. If you lose it, if you're flying up a mountain and you get above 400 feet of where you're at and you're still going, when you do the return to home, it's going to return to home at the altitude you set from where you're at. So
Right.
you're going to fly right into a rock.
Right.
That's where you have optimized return to home.
So here's a
Well, like I
question.
say, that's,
Then
that,
Changes.
you're right, Mark. But see, people don't think that prior to taking off.
Yeah.
Here's a question because I've never used return to home ever. If you set your return to home to 300 feet and you're at 400 feet, it's not going to fly down to 300 feet. It's going to stay where it's at and
It
come
should-
home and land. Is that correct?
It
No,
should.
it goes to the height. I believe it goes to the height.
So I
No,
don't think it's going to come
Once,
down.
once
100 feet.
again, once you hit return to home, it activates the bottom sensors. So whatever the bottom sensors are telling the drone, as long as it's not exceeding the 1640 limit, it will fly at 300 feet of the ground that is currently over, I
Right.
should say. So as it gradually comes downhill, it should descend and maintain that 300-foot level of the ground that is currently flying over.
Okay, so my understanding was, and again, I don't understand real well, so give me some leeway. I am flying my drone, and I don't use return to home. So
Mm-hmm.
I am flying my drone at 400 feet. I set my return to home at 300 feet. We'll ignore a mountain. We'll ignore that whole piece. I'm flying at 400 feet, and I hit return to home. I don't believe it's going to drop to 300 feet. It's going to stay at the level it's at until it gets to my home and then descend. That is my thought. That's what I understand.
Right.
That is incorrect. It will
If
drop to 300 feet.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
you're above the height that you've set, it will stay at that height. If you're below the height that you set, it will rise to that height.
Correct.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm.
So I don't think it'll drop, Dre. I don't think
Lance,
Well, like I said, I fly
Lance.
enterprise drones, they descend automatically.
Lance,
I be flying at 400 feet. By
Yeah,
the time it gets back to me, it's at 100 feet.
that drone is going to drop to 300 feet.
Okay.
Yep. That's
Again,
Time
return
to
to home
return.
altitude. It'll fly
Time to
to
return to
altitude.
home kicks in. Whatever altitude you got set for that return to home, it's going to go directly there. So it's going to drop to 300 feet.
Which drone we're
That's the
talking
first
about?
step. The first step.
It wouldn't matter which one it is.
Yeah, when you return to home, the first
It does
step
matter.
is to find the
But
correct
it matters.
altitude.
The
Then it comes
Mavic
back.
3 and the Air 3 have that advanced return that'll take the most optimum instead of
Right, that'll
dropping,
follow the path that it took. Yeah.
it's gonna follow the
Mini-
path back.
The Mini 4 Pro's got that as well.
Yeah,
Optimized.
but I say that's just the route, not the altitude.
Yeah, that's just the route.
It will follow
Well-
the route.
Not the
Well, it's gonna
optimized.
drop in altitude, but it may not get down to 300 and stay at 300. It's gonna keep coming down.
Yeah,
Optimized.
that's what I'm saying. It's going to follow the
Is-
route.
is-
It's not optimized.
Yeah.
It will fly around a building. It won't fly over a building.
Right.
All right,
Within
this is
the
turning
path
into a
of what they're
this is
doing.
turning into a Sesame Street thing. It'll fly around the building. It'll fly over the building. It'll fly through the building.
or Dr.
Yeah.
Seuss.
The optim
That was pretty good.
turns
That
the
was
home.
a good,
does
that was
not
a good analogy.
reset
That's a
level.
pretty good analogy.
Well, like I said before,
Yeah.
that type of technology has been around since the Phantom 4 Pro and the Inspire 2 that had smart return.
Now that's at 560 AGL right there
Mm-hmm.
because the water tower was 160 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I brought that sucker up exactly 400 above it.
All right.
Yeah.
I would have to look it up, but I think 1200 was as far as I took the Phantom up. I was flying over the smokestacks for a electric generating company, so I flew over the smokestacks, and that was the highest I'd ever flown. That's the highest I've ever flown,
All right.
and it was a little bit freaky.
I've flown 415 feet before, and that was in my backyard. So I'm counting my house is 15 feet tall. I can fly 415, but I'm
I have
afraid.
several projects that take me anywhere from 600 something feet back to below 400 because I use terrain awareness,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which means the drone is purposely adjusting its altitude.
See, that's a good thing right there.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
The Mavic
Like
Pro.
I said, if I run into water towers or the tops of mountains, as long as I don't exceed that 1640, that drone will fly and adjust itself all the way.
So when it gets to 1640, it just stops going. Kind of like I've got mine set at 400. It stops
Right.
going up. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, does it stop going up, or does it give you a warning that you have
It
approached the
stops.
limit?
It stops. All they
No,
do
I
is
talk about
straight-
about the 400.
Yeah.
It used to stop. I don't know if this firmware has changed. It may allow you to go higher.
The only drone I had that would fly higher than that was my old Phantom 3 Pro or the Phantom 2 I had.
Oh, you're talking about higher than the
It
1600?
would go until the battery ran out.
So Paul, are you following this conversation?
No, Paul's too
Guys,
busy.
I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I gotta
Look at,
start
got
getting
his
ready for
jacket
work.
on already.
I'll catch y'all later.
He just gonna
Bye,
keep pushing.
TJ.
Paul's going
Later.
out to fly, it looks like, or go get his donuts.
Dre, tell me about the terrain awareness
muted.
app. What is that? An app? How
No,
do you?
it's built in. I don't know about the Fly app if it has it in it, but the old Go4 app,
Yeah.
the Go app, and the Pilot apps have that feature.
Joe, I'm making you the host.
Because the Mavic Pro Platinum will do that.
Right. Because the Platinum
would-
uses the Go4 app.
Works on the Go app. Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah. So I don't know about the Fly app. I don't have any drones that use the Fly app.
Right.
I'm going to try that return to home. I've never, like I said, I don't use it. I'm going to set my return to home to 50 feet. I'm going to go up to 60 feet, and I'm going to hit return to home, see if it drops.
Mhm.
to
Oh,
50.
Now
Now,
make
the
sure
thing
ain't
I have with
nothing
Uncle
in
Bob
between you
Oh,
and
yeah.
that 50 feet.
is that
Nope,
he
I'm going to
lost
do it
signal.
right in front of me.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lance, Uncle
Right
Bob
here.
lost signal, so it went into, once you lose signal, I think it's only about maybe a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, it kicks into auto return to home.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
You lose signal.
you've got set as loss of connection. It's either
That's what I
return
mean by losing signal.
over or land.
Yeah, that's what he means. That's the same thing. Losing signal.
That's what I mean. When you lose signal, you lost connection with the drone. And I think
Yeah.
the drone will keep flying up to about 30 seconds to a minute, then it will automatically kick into return to home.
No,
It's
it
not
doesn't.
even that long.
Yeah, I don't think it's that long
Like I said,
either.
I know it goes
Into
with this.
home if that's what you've got set as your loss of connection. You've got a
Yeah,
choice.
you have it in a hurry, you're in trouble.
You've
Well,
got
Like I
loss of
say, it's
you've got
unless you
off,
unselect
off.
that mark, it's automatically select default. Unless you
Yeah.
unselect it.
Yeah.
So if you unselect it, it's definitely your fault.
Yeah, but
Well,
the
that's
thing
why
is,
Paul lost
you've got
his.
hover and you've got land. And it all depends on what you're doing as to what you want it to do if you lose connection.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
not
Paul had his Air 2S set
return
on
to home.
hover. The one he lost under the bridge.
Yeah. So I mean, the default setting is return to home unless you change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Paul, in fact, Paul's Air 2S right now is set to hover.
And
Again.
he shouldn't do that.
Again?
Yeah, because he's afraid that if it returns to home, it's gonna hit the bridge.
Yeah, if
Okay.
it,
Well, he flies
That's
under the
under-
bridge.
That's
If it-
understandable.
Yeah,
If
I
But
can
he needs to
understand
s-
that part.
Well, I told him, I said, you top of your bridge is right. I think he said like 200 feet. I said, set it at 180.
Yeah, but what if he loses signal while he's under the bridge?
It comes
It's
back
not
to
gonna go
180.
higher than 180.
I bet we could talk him into
He'll
just
drop to
land.
180. He'll be under.
It'll come
We
back,
could
it'll
talk him
fly,
into,
it'll return to home, and it won't exceed 180 feet.
the top of the
Yeah.
bridge is about 350 feet. It's the
No, he's
underside
worried about the bottom of the bridge.
You
The
go by the
underside-
bottom.
Mm.
underneath.
80.
And he
Gotcha.
also doesn't have it set on bypass either.
I'm sure we can
That's his
talk him
other
into to changing it to just land.
Yeah, he's got it. He doesn't
Yeah.
have bypass on there, and he doesn't have the
Right in the middle of the lake.
return
Wait a
home.
minute. If it's returning to home, the only way it would hit the bridge is if he took off from the other side of the bridge and flew up underneath it with the boat. Common sense would say to be on the left side of the bridge. That way you take off and the bridge is already behind you. So if you return to home, you're not
Yeah, but
even
he
going to come
doesn't
to the
have a
bridge.
parking space over there.
Paul
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah, but
always
the thing is,
flies-
Jonathan, if you watch a lot of his videos, he does fly under that bridge as he's
he
catching the
flies under
ships
the
as they go
Oh,
through.
okay.
So like
Yeah,
I said,
right where
it
he's
would
at,
make
he's
sense
always-
for him to set the return to home level at the lowest part beneath the bridge, give himself about at least 10 to 15 feet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say at about 170, maybe 165, and have that thing,
Yeah.
in case he loses signal, it will come home.
It'll
I
clear
think
it'll
one
clear,
of them's
clear the bridge and
184
any
you can
boats
set it on.
underneath you won't
Right.
have to
It
worry
cleared.
about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best.
And I mean, that's just, knowing the area that you're flying in, you set your controller up for that type of environment.
Mhm. Exactly.
That's just being good piloting right there.
on the tower of the boat, but he should be safe from the bridge.
Yeah, he
I don't
actually
know.
changed it and then changed it back. He said it changed it back because he wasn't sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
But he don't
I
trust
always
the
set my
drone.
return to home to 6 foot just because I don't want to lose sight of it.
I had somebody
You
the other
can-
day.
You can
If you're
the
do
other
flying in
day-
Kansas,
Yeah.
you're pretty good.
you can do that with the Air 3S. It'll manage it.
I was
Yeah.
flying the Avata tour around the complex here. I had somebody the other day come on and say he's gonna stop watching my videos because I can't be having visual line of sight.
You can do that
I
with
said,
the
well,
what?
thanks for watching this time.
What you say, Mark?
Yeah.
You can do that with which drone?
With the Air 3S, you can set your return to home at 6 feet and it'll do it.
You got one?
No, Donald does.
Donna, you did that?
I have not.
No,
I wouldn't.
On
I
the
don't think that's the lowest you can set it either.
on the optimized return to home, it will stay at the height that it is at when it comes back.
The Air 3S?
Yeah,
No.
and the Mini 4.
No. This is why I say no, right?
Don't
I watched
say-
a bunch of videos. Listen, I watched a bunch of videos where a dude took off from out of his window, well, off of the table in his house, and it flew out the window, and he hit that return to home. That drone flew right back through the window, turned around, and landed all by itself.
Yep.
But that's a different style. That's
That
That's what the Air 3S will do. That's why I
Right,
asked you if you had
that
one,
time.
because I already knew what it do.
what's it called? That they have a new name for that one. For that return to home,
Augmented something.
something like that. Yeah.
Well, like
Augmented
I
return
always
on
say,
maybe,
it's like
something
that
like
Yeah.
Uncle Bob video. That's just straight pilot error. He was trying to fly beyond the limits of the drone initially, and then he was trying to land it on a trail path, he thought, until he lost signal. Because as a drone gets closer to the ground, there are other elements that are going to cause it to lose signal.
That'll block your signal, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Trees,
block your
bushes, houses.
Like I said, when you
Land.
watch that video, he said he was trying to land that. He knew he flew too far, so he thought the best thing he's going to try to do was land a drone on a fire break trail. Then he's going to walk up there and get it. Well,
Yep.
he lost signal completely, which means you lose picture on the screen, so he
Yep.
don't know where the drone went.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why I tell people, I say, once you lose signal, return to home is your friend, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Because when
Right.
you lose signal, you lose screen. So you
Yep.
have no real idea. That's why it's like the old drones, the old Mavic Pros, the Mavic 2 Pro had that readout, a little 3-inch screen readout. Even if
Yeah.
you lost signal on whatever device you're using to watch the camera part, you still had that telemetry readout that let you know the altitude, the speed, all other information, how much battery he had left. So you could fly that drone back to you without seeing a picture. Period. And I missed that off of the old controllers. The original Air controller, the original Mavic Pro, Mavic 2 Pro, all had the original controllers that had that telemetry right there in a little 3-inch screen, 3 or 4-inch screen on the controller.
Yep.
You don't even need to have a phone or tablet to fly.
Well, it's on the bottom of the controllers. The telemetry is on the bottom left side of the
No, but
controller.
what I'm saying, Jonathan, once your screen goes out on those controllers, nothing shows up.
Nope. Once you lose telemetry, you're not getting any information back from that drone.
Right.
On the new controllers?
Yeah.
On any controller.
Yeah.
Once you lose connection to the drone, you're not getting any information.
No, I've actually had to fly back using nothing but the telemetry. I want to say it was with
Okay, then you didn't lose connection. You lost camera.
I lost
But you didn't lose-
picture. I lost video.
You lost video, but
Yeah,
we're
I
talking
lost
about
video.
losing.
Once you lose, what I'm saying is once you lose signal, the picture is automatic. You're gonna lose that because you lost signal. Your screen's
Right.
gonna freeze or it's gonna go blank.
Right. my
So
screen,
you're
my
not
screen
getting,
went
like
black.
Don said, you're not getting any update information. I was saying on the older controllers, you may lose video feed, but you were still able to get telemetry on that small screen on the controller.
Yep, I've done that before.
Mhm.
losing video, but still seeing
Still see the
But-
telemetry.
and still having
What
control.
controllers
I've lost complete video, but still had control of the drone. I was still
Right.
connected, so I was able to fly back. That's why you should fly a visual line of sight.
The original
And,
man.
and that was the whole reason behind that, because the controllers were everybody was depending upon this visual, be able to see what was on the thing. They said, well, if you lose that, what do you have to help you fly that drone back? Nothing.
Nope. And that's
Which
what you
controller?
have is right here, Dre.
Yeah. And that's
It-
why the big thing is about having, I would say, spatial awareness of where your drone is at, where it's
Mhm.
headed. You know, I never want to
Yeah.
get into the literal thing that you actually have to have continual line of sight. The way the wording is that you must be able to have spatial awareness of where your drone is at and what
Mhm.
direction it's going.
Yep.
Is the way the wording is interpreted, not literally. You have to have actual line of sight.
Actually, you must be able to determine.
Right.
You don't have to know this when you when you look up. You don't have to know instantly which direction it's facing, but you have to be able to determine. And that means doing your dance with your joysticks to see, okay, left, right, it's not moving in my vision, therefore it is facing 90 degrees from me, rotate 90 degrees, left, right, all right, I'm facing forward or I'm facing backwards.
Right. That is correct. Like that's what I tell a lot of people. I can tell them, I say, hey, any given time, I can look up from my screen and look up and know the drone is at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever direction I know it's at. Boom,
Oh, you
boom,
shouldn't
boom.
be able to look up and locate. I never am so locked into my screen that I don't know where I'm at generally. I will constantly do this when I am doing a shot, when I'm doing a tracking shot or doing something like that. I will focus on the controller, but that's usually a small area that I'm flying
Right.
in. I'm not flying
Right.
a quarter mile
Mm-hmm.
staring down at the screen like this. If I am flying a long distance, it's like, okay, get my sticks locked in position because I do video and you don't want to do abrupt changes. So I will lock my thumbs in because I fly with my thumbs. I'll lock them into position where I'm not going to be making any weird moves. And I will look up and I will do this here and make sure that I'm still on track. But I wonder how many people will take their drone out because, I don't think I've ever done this. I think I've had to do this when I've lost video. But has anybody ever done that, put themselves in that situation where you basically fly out and look up or just look away from your controller, rotate your drone at random, and then just how do I determine which direction it's facing? And do that. That's an exercise. That would be a great exercise to do if you're learning to fly a drone.
Oh yeah, well that used to be part of the exercise with about doing the box, the figure eights, all that kind of stuff, and that's when people were being taught to you be able to see the drone and you control it doing the box movement, doing the figure eight movement, all that kind of stuff, and that gave you confidence that you can operate this drone without having to look at your fingers or thumbs, whatever it is you control.
That gives you the muscle memory.
Right,
But,
gives you the muscle memory and how to
but being
control
able to look up and determine the orientation of your drone without knowing it, just doing it by visuals and doing that left, right, 90-degree turn, left, right.
This is when it gets scary.
There's
See
a
the
thing
train
now
coming through here.
There's a thing now at the bottom of the controller called the compass, which tells you which
but
way
we are
the
talking
drone's
about losing.
pointing
We're
and
talking about
whereabouts.
losing that, Mark. We're talking
you
about being
could
able to
lose
do it
that
by
too.
visuals.
Do you
We're
lose
talking
that?
about being able to do it when you lose those things. You're talking about the tools that are there to help us. That's a great tool. We're talking about when you lose those tools. Can you fly it?
So I'm out here with the Mavic 3, right? Waiting for this train to come through.
Mm-hmm.
And as the train's coming through, I lose my picture.
Right.
And it's freezing. You'll see it jump and bounce around. Now I'm moving it, but look what it's doing. And I don't know what it's doing. See it jump? So I said, okay, it's jumping, it's froze, something's interfering. But I'm noticing in the telemetry, it's still coming back towards me. But I'm not seeing that because the picture was froze. So I said, well, don't do anything, just keep coming back. So I kept
Yeah.
coming back, and I said, let me go ahead and yaw it around like this, and I can't see what I've got because, like I said, I have no picture. But it was 53 seconds when I turned around right up in this area. I get the connection back. It was
Yep.
right when you'll see where I get the connection back. It's like right here, boom. I got full control again. But I didn't panic. I just watched the telemetry and said, "Oh, it's got 48% battery. It's still coming back." You know. But that was 7,400 feet away. So if I would have, you know, it makes you kind of think sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have,
Well-
I would have left it alone. If I'd have just stopped, it would have just froze right there. But I didn't know if I'd lost connection. I just lost the signal.
How many people fly with the RC app with the controller that you plug your phone into, and how many iPhones do we hear about or iPads overheating and blocking out on you? You still have connection with the drone with your remote. You just don't have any telemetry. You don't have anything. So
Yeah.
Well, I had the telemetry. That
That's
would
what I was
stay
saying
there.
about those old
The numbers
controllers
kept changing.
with these
That's why I don't
older
do
drones.
iPhone.
That if your phone overheated and you lost FPV view, then you still had that 3-4 inch screen on the controller that had nothing but telemetry information on it.
That Paul did not go fly a ship. He must have went and got donuts.
You know he went and got donuts, man. What you gonna do,
I was
both?
waiting to see a ship.
Yeah,
Either he did that or he went outside and shoveled some more snow.
There he is.
He had his
There he is.
little
What's
what
that in
do you
your hand,
call it?
Paul?
He had his little thing around his
Phone.
neck, so I'm not sure where he went.
I
What's
think
that in your hand, Paul?
I think you're gonna love cruise control on it, Don.
You're still host because you never made me host.
Yeah, he
that's the
did.
thing.
No, he
I
didn't.
want to get out there. I really need to either get rid of grandkids or get rid of hobbies.
Yeah.
I had to go buy a space heater for upstairs because of this bitter cold. She sleeps in the back bedroom, and there's no heat back there, and so I ran over to Ace Hardware here and got her a space heater.
Just out of interest,
Okay.
why is that your responsibility?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's
You're a
her
good landlord.
responsibility. If she wants a heater, she buys it.
That's being a good landlord.
For the price he's charging them, including all the services and everything, it's being a person who loses money.
Well,
I
the
don't
thing
know
of it
about all
is
but
that
I feel like this, Mark. I'd rather be the one buying the heater than have them buy something that's going to short out the panel box.
all of the utilities are included in their rent.
Yeah, exactly. But that doesn't.
That's the way I think.
basic.
Let me buy what I know is going to work, and not have them go buy something that's going to blow the fuse every time they turn it on.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the other option is go up there and keep her warm.
No.
Hey,
We call that
giving it back, Paul.
Hey,
He looks
Joe,
like
we
a
call
little
it professional
heavier Betty
cutler.
Boop.
Paul become a professional cutler.
Yeah. Fire, fire, fire.
So like last time for the kids to come in.
Justin's off playing Fortnite.
Is it Fortnite? Yeah.
He don't know what he's doing.
He got the coded message.
It's either that or he's gone back to work.
Hey Don, how you doing?
Laura's playing Fortnite, so guess where he's at?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were you not here when I came back in, Paul?
No.
No, I'm doing okay. I'm working.
Jonathan, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Actually, I'm not. I'm mad. I want my F3S.
Yeah.
Almost forgot.
Yeah, I'm subbing for a class first period, so I don't have a plan, so I've got to get going.
The teacher didn't leave
they
an
got
it.
emergency plan for sub.
Yeah, and it's sign language, so Sign language class. That'll be fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I got some sign language for some people.
There you
Yeah,
go.
no kidding.
Yeah.
That you make sure you tell the admin when they do their observations. Tell them I didn't have no lesson plan when I had to sub for them.
There you go. Okay, guys, later.
All right, Lance. Have a good day.
Later, Lance.
See you, lads. 18. God, I wish it was 18 degrees.
Well, I gotta head out myself. I gotta go film. We're clearing out one of our local parks of the homeless encampment, so I need to go fly over.
We've got 10
You gonna
degrees.
go fly over and mock them, or are you gonna fly over and just?
Well, you know, it's always about PR work and stuff. The city shows the residents that we're actually trying to control.
Look at
the
all these
homelessness.
homeless people we put out.
That's right.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
there's always about the ACLU coming in and want to make accusation of inhumane treatment. So we can say we got video to show that this is what we were doing.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, we were dropping fire bombs on them to keep them warm.
You know, so
We brought the fire hoses out.
yeah. So it serves a purpose on both sides.
Yep.
So I may see you guys this afternoon.
You're always welcome, Dre. We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, I came in because I heard Justin run his mouth, and I said, "Oh, well, let me get in here before he overloads too much." You know,
Yeah.
write checks his ass can't cover.
Most of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always good. I always enjoy
I
when
need to
Mr.
learn more
Mudball
about
comes
that.
in too.
That which Lord, I forgot the name of it, something awareness.
Situational?
No, the drone.
Hello, Tanya.
The drone.
What's wrong, Jonathan?
No,
The
good.
land mass awareness or something you said?
Oh, terrain awareness.
Terrain awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to look up on that.
I can
See
say
if
I don't
they-
know. I'm not sure if it's on the Fly app. I don't have any drones that use the Fly app. I know it's in the pilot app for enterprise drones, and
Yeah. I don't think it's in a fly
and
app.
I think it's in the Go 4 app also. If you use Drone Deploy, it's on that. You can use that app as long as you don't fly over 200 acres. It'll work in that app with a drone if you have a drone that it supports. And,
But this is something that DJI could innovate with the firmware, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I know that Dustin Dunhill has incorporated it into some of his flight tests that he's done when he was in Hawaii,
Mhm.
because the side of the football pitches, there was a big banking, and he used to fly up to it and watch it rise up and go over the banking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, check it out. I just I don't have a Fly app drone, so I couldn't tell you yay or nay if it's in there or not. Right. See you guys this afternoon, possibly.
Later, y'all.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah.
See you, Drake.
Yeah, that seemed like it should be something that they just put in all of their drones.
Well, yeah, I don't know what. I think it had a height limit though. It had to
Yeah,
be
Dre said 200.
the
200.
drone. The drone had to be within a certain distance of the ground for it to actually work.
Check that out. It's definitely something good to have. They want you a distance away from you.
It says DJI Fly app. Yes, terrain awareness is available in the Fly app.
So
It's
why
referred
isn't
to
it
as wait. It's primarily accessible on the most advanced enterprise series, DJI drones, where it's referred to as terrain follow. So it's the
so it's only
enterprise
in the
series
enterprise
drones.
drones then? Yeah.
Yep. Right, because they need to be able to maintain the specific altitude to get their orthographic views and stuff like that.
All right, well, you know, you've forever throwing us some new features. Let us get that. That's the feature we need right there.
That's a
That's
good feature.
That is something that should be in all of the drones, really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If they're saying, right, your height limit is 400 feet above ground level, let us know what 400 feet above ground level is.
Well, it's counting from where you took off at, but like you say, as you're moving, the terrain changes, so it should be able to determine the change of the terrain to keep me to keep me to where I don't exceed 400 feet.
Yeah, we don't want them doing what they've done in Europe, where sub 250 gram drones are now limited to 400 feet above takeoff point, not above ground level, above takeoff point.
Above takeoff point, yeah. Basically, that's what it is for the consumer drones without that feature.
You know, I did a shoot a few years ago where I was orbiting a tree, and I wanted to go and orbit a tree throughout all the seasons.
Mhm.
And the video came out neat. I might redo it now that I've got this drone, and
The big
I
bird.
might revisit that thing.
Now that you've
But I'd done it with the Phantom, and it had a lot of drift to it, and so the shots didn't match up great. But still, I would pull up to a road and fly out, and I would drop down, and I was actually flying at a negative altitude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
especially
Paul, I'm
if-
jumping off. I gotta go check all the batteries for the shoot today.
Okay, Joe.
Marcus
All
does
right,
that.
Joe. Have a good one, man.
Make
See
River
y'all
Canyon.
later.
He gets
We're,
about 300 feet in below.
Well, the thing of it is I'm always amazed with the guys like that fly the Grand Canyon and stuff like that, and they take off up here
Uh-huh.
and they go down and it shows negative
Mhm.
altitude.
That's what
Mhm.
I was just saying, because I'd pull up on the road and I would take off, and then
Yeah.
I'd fly out and drop down into the valley where the tree was, down in a field, and do the orbit down there. And it was around 7 foot, I think it was, negative.
I don't think you're allowed to fly at the Grand Canyon because of the tourist planes and helicopters.
There's Grand Canyon is huge.
Yeah, you can always find parts
Yeah,
of the Grand
But
Canyon.
I'm sure it's a no-fly zone,
No, it's not.
isn't it?
No.
Ah.
Grand Canyon. I don't know.
Grand Canyon is what, 600 or 800 miles long?
It might be certain parts of it that might be a no-fly zone, like the tourist part, but it's bigger than just the tourist part.
Mm.
There's a lot more to it than the tourist part. But I
Well,
don't know.
The sad part of it is you just don't want to let anybody fly it because
Mm.
you know if you were to lose it, you can't climb down and just grab it. You know.
Yeah.
Nope, you must take the burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't getting that back.
Well, you can get it back. Take you a while.
And that thing fall down there and them falls, you ain't getting it back.
Boy, is it cold here. Ugh,
Yeah.
Just working with.
I let the
23.
cat out earlier today, and I'm just like, oh, I hate this time of year.
Yep.
I got that new drone, and I don't want to go outside.
23 degrees, and we got like 6 inches of snow overnight.
Oh no! What
Mm.
you
I mean,
what you got, Don?
The temperature wise,
Yeah.
all I know is I had ice on everything. I need to get out and clean the filter on the pond, on the goldfish pond, and there's ice covering it. So right now we are at 27 degrees.
Yeah, that's too cold to be flying at all.
Yeah, we're supposed to be get a high of 60 this weekend, and so that raises a question: do I drive the dune buggy or do I fly the drone?
Or both.
Both.
I guess I could try. I could try
You,
both. I
you
could
put
take the
you put
buggy
the
out, put
drone
the
in the
drone up,
dune buggy. You ride out to a
There you
nice
go.
spot. Put the bird in the air.
try and do some
Get you
active
some
track.
flights. Ride
Active
on back.
track driving the dune buggy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe drive over to Carthage, put the buggy out by the lake and do an orbit of the buggy to get some beauty shots of it.
Mm-hmm.
Get some shots of it running down the road. Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, our temperatures raised itself up to 10 degrees centigrade, but feels like 5. Yeah, okay, so it's 5.
Wait a minute. I ain't hear nothing about you taking your wife with you there, Donald. What happened to that part?
My wife doesn't like drones, and she never rides in the buggy with me for some reason.
Okay, that explains that part. Okay.
She has only ridden in that buggy, I think, 3 times total.
Has she ever driven it?
She can't drive a stick.
Wow. I
Only
ain't gonna
one
tell you.
stick she can drive.
We ain't gonna tell. Nah, Paul. He said it. You can't cover that up. You can't cover that. We ain't gonna tell nobody that you told us that about your wife. Okay, we gonna keep that a secret.
What? She knows she can't drive a stick.
Help him, Mark.
Depends upon which stick she's driving.
I'm
Hey,
pretty
that's
much
my wife you're talking about. Be careful.
No, that's your wife you're talking about. We
most of
didn't
the
say anything about it. You did.
most of
Well-
the cars in the UK are stick shift.
Let's clarify that when you get
Well-
upset now.
Well, when I
Hey,
say
Mark-
she can't drive a when I
Mark-
say she can't
Mark,
drive a stick,
most-
we know what we're talking about. Paul was
Mark,
making
most cars in Europe are sticks, aren't they, Mark?
My BMW is a stick shift. It's got 5 forward and 1 reverse. Some of the Italian cars have got 6 reverse and 1 forward.
What?
That was an old joke from the war. The Italians were always found to be retreating during the Second World War. So the Italian tanks were built with 6 reverse gears and 1 forward.
Yep, I heard that as a French
Yeah.
joke too. But, all right. These should all be currency, so let's change that to currency. Bum, bum, ba-dum.
So, Jonathan, did you order your Air 3S or?
No, not yet.
Well, that-
From what I read, you ain't gonna be able to get it. China don't want to give us nothing. They
Yeah.
calling the U.S. They calling the U.S.'s wolf ticket.
I got mine.
Eventually.
Yeah, that was before they called the U.S.'s wolf ticket.
I
That's
have
the
a
trouble. I mean,
the-
you've got to pay for it when you order it. So until it arrives, you sort of minus that money, aren't you?
yep. I have the Mike Mini supposed to show up today, so I need to start figuring out something to shoot so I can get these toys in use.
Well, you
I'm
know,
waiting for 2 packages from Timberland actually. The boat.
you know, the Mike Mini transmitter will plug into the bottom of your RC2 controller, and you'll be able to record on your screen recordings.
I didn't know it would plug directly into the RC2.
Straight into the USB-C.
Looking at my camera for my package, and all I see is my cat.
Yeah, that's it. That's the other thing. I need to start making a list of things to shoot, things to do with that drone to actually learn all of its capabilities. So spend a day shooting panoramas, shoot a day,
Hyperlapses, using cruise
doing hyperlapses, and just learn that drone and get familiar
Yeah.
with it.
Watch about 20 videos on it first.
You're talking about learning the features. You still need to learn how to maneuver that bird.
Yeah.
I can maneuver that bird. That's what the other day it handles extremely well.
You listening, Paul? Say it again.
What?
What?
Yeah. Don, you repeat what you said, and Paul, you listen to what he said. That what?
I flew the Air 3S the other day and it handles extremely well.
You heard that, Paul?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
In fact, I was concerned that it would be comparable to the Phantom 4, and the feathering on the controls was beautiful. It handled really nice, responsive when I gave it full stick, but still had enough throw early on to feather in my shots, make smooth moves. It was a very nice experience. The only thing that freaked me out was that descent rate, and that freaked me out. It comes down a lot faster than that Phantom 4.
You can change that in the settings.
Oh yeah, I know I can. But I
Yeah.
hadn't, and it freaked me out that it was so fast. I don't think I will change it because I like having that responsiveness.
Okay.
I just need to get used to it.
Right.
You know, you go from a car that doesn't have any get up and go to a sports
Yeah.
car. You need to get used to how it controls. You don't want to put restrictions on the car. You need to just learn yourself.
Yep.
This conversation sound familiar to you, Paul?
yeah,
Yeah.
What, learn how to use your drone?
Even this example with the car. Ooh.
Oh,
It's
Well-
nice. Will go up at that speed as well, which makes it easier to get out of the way of birds.
mm-hmm. Hey, that was.
He's trying to act like he's thinking about it. Okay.
Open. There we go.
It's a beautiful bird, Paul. I'm telling you now.
It is. Oh, that's another thing. I need to go to the store tonight. I got an idea for my landing pad to make a new crash pad. I thought about going and getting a couple of those basically for sale signs they sell on the back of Walmart, back in hardware.
yeah.
They're really thin plastic, but flexible. And taking a couple of those, sandwiching, put my tape along the seam of that, so I've got a foldable thing. Then I can go ahead and paint the entire thing and make a new crash here landing pad.
Crash here.
Yeah.
Jonathan, have you never seen my landing pad for my Mini?
No. It says crash here.
Let me find it. Yep.
That's a landing pad?
That's just a board that I made a little landing pad for so I can. So yeah, I just got a board, painted it black, and drew a crash here and used it as a landing pad.
Okay. It's
Why
black though.
buy one of those fold up little flimsy landing pads when you can have something cool?
Black
that
is
you
the
made
worst
yourself.
color. Black is the worst color for a landing pad for your sensors. Did you know that?
You could buy one of those, like the chess,
What color do you suggest then?
like
No,
the
seriously. If you got a black landing pad, right, and you're flying at night and you go to land your drone,
Oh,
your
I never
sensors
flew the
are
Mini
gonna
at night.
your sensors are gonna recognize it. It's literally gonna like hover for like 15, 20 seconds before it realizes, wait a minute, that is the ground.
it has a light that comes on.
But I would
on it.
when I fly at night, I would usually especially with the Mini hand catch.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing.
It has an automatic light that switches on when it comes into land.
Yeah.
Depends on the drone.
the Air 2S, the Air 3S, I want to say the Mavics have them too.
Mini 4 Pro got it.
Hey, these
Yeah,
are all
yeah,
drones,
yeah,
newer
right.
drones I did not have.
Back the landing light on the Air 3S, you can click one of the buttons and it'll turn it on, permanently on. Otherwise, it comes on, it takes off, and then it dims itself when it comes back.
Yeah,
and gets
it's
to
in the
about-
settings. You can have it where it stays on, or you can have it when it detects that it's coming down.
It gets to about 10 or 12 feet, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a landing light.
Yeah, your Air 2S does that too.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's in safety or whether it's in control.
Controls. Controls, landing light. And you can switch it to one of the two.
Or you can have it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the three. Sure. Yeah, you can have it off.
Okay, everybody, I think I'm gonna call it.
Alrighty, I'll see you guys this evening.
Yeah, we'll be back on again this evening. Don, you have a good day. You stay safe with your buggy and your drone.
He's working today.
I'm working today. I'm going to be sitting here playing keyboard jockey.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mark?
that was the weekend.
Mark, take care. Jonathan, take care. We'll see all of you again later today.
For sure, for sure. Everybody let a peace.
Bye for now.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Mm-hmm.